So Vipassana is letting go of that self, sort of dissolving into space, going out on the out breath and experiencing a gap, and somehow the environment becoming a bigger deal in your meditation, let's say, or you just, I don't know, it's like we say radiation without a radiator. And there's nobody, there's nobody just, they're just, and nobody, that's it. Radiation, no radiator. There's a letting go, but there's nobody letting go. That's kind of Vipassana. We talk about prajna, discriminating awareness, wisdom. There's two ways of experiencing reality. One is where it makes you, confirms yourself in here. And the other is sight, sound, smells, taste, mental fact of mind. Don't confirm a self. They have this sharp, penetrating quality, which is what reality is, that slices any idea of a self here. Any idea of a self, when you experience reality that way, it cuts through the possibilities of a self. So it's prajna, that's discriminating awareness, wisdom, that's Vipassana type experience. So we alternate. We practice our shamatha, and we get some peace, and then we just apply that peace to fundamentally looking at the nature of reality and letting go of an idea of a self and letting reality speak to us in this penetrating way, this way of prajna, this way of vipassana, and it's like a fear comes toward one, you could say. Usually ego experiences that whole situation as a kind of a threatening possibility. I mean, it's like taking LSD, sometimes it's not threatening, but sooner or later, the ego's gonna, maybe, for a while, it's like, oh, this is fun, but somebody's gonna freak out, I'm not advocating taking LSD at all. I'm just trying to explain a little bit about how things work. But if you're on your meditation cushion or what, it doesn't matter. If you have all this fantastic Vipassana experience, at some point you're going to get lost. You're going to forget what you're doing. You're going to forget who you are, which isn't all bad, but necessarily, but at some point it's time to return to shamatha. That's just how it works. You experience all this fantastic Vipassana, but at some point, you need to say to yourself, this is fantastic, but now let's go back to shamatha. And what happens is, it's that spiral, and what happens is when you come back to shamatha, it's like a whole higher level of shamatha. There's all these levels of shamatha, there's all these levels of Vipassana. They work together. So when we come back to our shamatha, it's a real subtle. All of a sudden, it's not the old heavy-handed shamatha that we were just practicing, but it's a lighter touch. So we just develop this lighter and lighter touch with our shamatha. Sometimes we're very heavy-handed about shamatha. You know, we start out, every time we sit, we start out very heavy-handed with our shamatha. And we stay that way till we get some peace, until things settle, our mind settles. When your mind's very clear, there's no thoughts, and if you're not there, don't get off too early, you know, just stay with the shamatha, stay with the shamatha. When you get some peace, you can shift a little bit your technique. Technique goes a little bit toward just less technique in a way, and more gazing. Can you come back to shamatha? You know, a little bit less gazing, you know, probably. Even though now if your gazing's really good, you're still gazing, but you're more, you're shifting back to shamatha nonetheless. Even if you're gonna still gaze a little, it's back to shamatha. It's not as gazing as much as you were, so you just alternate. You just alternate. I've done a piss poor job of explaining all this, I believe, but I'm gonna tackle it maybe again, you know, and something just devoted to shamata-vipayshana, but it's hard to explain, and it's a little bit tricky because shamatha always turns into vipassana, and vipassana always turns into shamatha. As long as you're onto that, you don't have any problem. But sometimes I'll be talking about shamatha like this and vipassana like this, and then I'll pick up a book and it'll be exact. He'll say that's vipassana, that's shamatha backwards, but I'm okay with that, you know, because it's a little mysterious, you know. It's not exactly the way I'm explaining it. It's can't be explained maybe, or sometimes it changes into the other, you know. Sometimes what looks like shamatha merely turns into out to be vipassana, and vice versa. I don't know. It's interesting that way. So gazing, you know, you just gaze. Best thing you do is gaze with your lover, you know, or the second best thing you can do is gaze with your guru, even if he doesn't know you're gazing. Gaze with your yidam. Oh, that's pretty good. If you're doing yidam practice, gaze with your yidam. That's really good. Or whoever you're visualizing, you know, gaze with them. You can gaze in the mirror, you can gaze at a candle, you can gaze at the moon. You can lay out. Best thing to do is to be on retreat, be on the side of a mountain. You just happen to wake up and there's a pure blue sky out there in front of you. Not a puff of smoke, not a hint of any kind of haze, and not a cloud to be found anywhere. Or, you know, anything you can get. If you're in the city, you might have to lay on your back to really get that. If you're on top of the mountain, you're in retreat, you might be able to get it like that. That's the best. But however you can get it, probably on your back, on the ground. But even if there's some clouds, who cares, you know? It's not as perfect for Dzogchen realization, but it's good enough for practice, everyday practice, you know. Whatever, just gaze at the sky, whatever it is. Lie on your back, gaze at the sky. Do like a laying down meditation. Okay, which we talked about. I got some videos about laying down. I don't use constructive rest when I'm doing this necessarily, although I could, you know, I usually just lay down and you're wanting to know the nature of your mind. What's the nature of my mind? And there it is. Please point out the nature of my mind. Show me the nature of my mind. There it is. That's it. That's the nature of your mind. It's hard to conceive of that. But when you're laying there gazing at the sky, it's a little easier. It's a big aid to meditation. Huge, huge, huge. Laying there at night with all those stars and just saying, that's my mind and nothing else. Huge aid to meditation. Or if the moon's up there, it could be pretty fantastic. You can focus a little bit on the moon. It's not all gazing, but you can gaze at the moon too, you know. Walking around in the park is a perfect place to gaze. It just don't get it. There's not a better. Won't get a better setup than that, especially with some water, maybe some unusual looking things in nature that make you think you're in. Went through the hole with Alice. Makes you think you entered the realm of the gods somehow. Well, whatever, just nature. You know, you can really gaze in your meditation, you know. It's kind of hard for me to know if I should give that much instruction about it, you know, but our gaze is very low in our shamatha, but then in our vipassana, our gaze raises, and we go back, and then our gaze, as we alternate between shamatha and vipassana, our gaze goes down and goes up, always and forevermore until the end of the world. That's how we meditate. It's alternating between shamatha and vipassana, and the gaze is always down more with shamatha and up more with vipassana. So you're going to freak out probably in gazing. You're going to have experiences, really. You have experiences and it freaks you out, you know. You have a shift in your primitive beliefs of reality get sort of opened up into things that are closer to the true reality. You got true reality, you got your primitive beliefs about reality, and they don't quite, but in this way they begin to mix around until you go to the other side a little bit, start going to the other side, and stop clinging to your primitive beliefs about reality and get what reality is all about. So 4 stages of gazing: the ordinary consciousness, second stage, a dreamlike state, blissful, could be sort of seductive, and a lot of Sambhogakaya stuff can happen, you know. Third state is when things we're afraid of show up. So it's good news getting into the third stage. Most people think third stage, keep it locked up in the safe. But you just let third stage come along because you want to go to fourth stage. Fourth stage is you're a Buddha, you're realized, you're a fully enlightened being, or you're in a better approximation of one. You got to go third stage to get to fourth stage. Nobody wants to go through third stage, but you got to get a taste for it. You got to let it start rolling off the top. You tip your tongue a little bit. You got to just taste it. Taste it. Doesn't happen. You get that relaxed. You start feeling energy. Start feeling energy. That's the taste. It's like licking a razor blade. Like licking something really sharp. You just develop a taste for reality. One taste has its taste of realization or freedom or energy or not solid or no ego, or no self, no self, no self, no self. You get fooled by self out there, but in some ways it's easier to discover no self here than it is to discover no self there, you know. That's the harder one in a way, but whatever, you work on the whole thing. All right, well, I guess I'm going to hell for all that. Thank you very much.